Hello, it's Maggie. Today I'm doing the chart of the royal newborn, as yet unnamed, so I may change his name once we receive the name of the royal Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Prince Harry, of course, and Meghan Markle. Um, so the royal son was born May 6, 2019. And they got the time so accurate. 5:26 a.m. I mean, every minute counts for astrology, so that's great. 5:26 a.m. and I put London, UK, London, England. The royal couple wants privacy right now, for a couple of days at least. So, I just thought I'd look at the chart, and I can always remedy it later if there's a different place of birth and once we have his name. So. Um, Yeah, so anyway, the royal sun is a sun in Taurus and the moon in Taurus. He was born under a new moon. The new moon lasts a couple of days, so it was a very powerful new moon in Taurus. So the sun was 15 degrees Taurus. The moon actually is 0 degrees Gemini, so it was 0 degrees. Is frequently seen in royalty's chart. It's a critical degree, so it's in his first house. So it's almost like the sun and the moon represent his mother and father. Father being the sun, mother being the moon in his first house. So um, his ascendant is Taurus, so he is a double Taurus. Double Taurus. This new prince, I'm not sure what they're going to call him. I'm not really familiar with royal titles, but I'm just going to call him a prince. The new prince, baby boy, is double Taurus. I mean, that's amazing. And he has amazing earth. Everything's in earth right now. And I've really been looking at everyone's been looking at the transits lately. So the royal sun is a double Taurus. That is so cool. And his moon is almost in Taurus because, like I said, it was a new moon in Taurus. So he missed the new moon by 1 day, but it's 0 degrees. So that's a very strong Taurus influence. The 0 degree denotes royalty. It's frequently seen in royal charts. That doesn't mean everyone who has 0 degrees is royalty, of course. Um, Gemini, he has Mars in Gemini in the second house of communication and assets. Yeah, so his sun, moon, and ascendant just hit you all at once, all at once. He's all Taurus, all Taurus. Mars in Gemini, so he will really have the gift of communication, a lot of skill and ambition. It's in his house of assets, so of course he was born into assets, and people can't wait to communicate and talk about him. Gemini is the sign of communication, but it's in his second house of assets. His north node is in the fourth house of the home. So he was destined to be born into this royal home because it's in Cancer. It's in Cancer. He could be the reincarnation of Diana. I'm just joking. But he could, who knows, because she was a Cancer. So anyway, his north node is in the fourth house. So he is born, he's a newborn, to carry on the royal line. Yeah. So that's his destiny. His destiny is his home, his royal home, and, royal duties that go along with that. But Cancer is the home, the mother. So, he's born to a very nurturing, loving family, and he's predestined to be born into this. Yeah, and so the seventh house of relationships, is Scorpio. There are no planets there. All his planets are in the up near the midheaven and in the 12th house and first house. It's very interesting. So he has Jupiter in Sagittarius in the 8th house. So he was born with incredible It's Scorpio's house of joint assets, and it's in Sagittarius, which is international, higher learning, theology, philosophy. So Jupiter is just extreme good fortune. And, of course, he was born into wealth, um, joint assets, just seventh in line to the throne. And international flavor, would be the Sagittarius, higher learning. He's going to be so wise and forward thinking, um, because Jupiter is wisdom, and it's also the ruler of Sagittarius. So that's very fortuitous, very, very much so. He was born also with Pluto and Saturn in Capricorn. This whole generation of babies is born with that. Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn, and Pluto is a very powerful ruler of Scorpio. So he will be a very powerful ruler. He is going to be an authority. And I just did Queen Elizabeth II's chart, and I just remember all her fixed. She had a lot of fixed signs. So I'm just thinking with all his Taurus, it's a fixed Earth sign, and currently Pluto and Saturn are in Capricorn. That's a cardinal angle, and that's where you look towards, being seen in the public eye or what to do for a career. So he was born into that. Um, and then if you jump to his 12th house, is huge. It's huge. It kind of runs into his ascendant. Neptune, of course, is transiting Pisces, so he's going to be a sensitive soul. Yeah, little, born into a life of service, which the monarchy is, of course, a life of service. Um, Probably make him a humanitarian, give him a lot of sensitivity, maybe some spirituality. And so everything else is in Aries in his 12th house. Yeah, so he has Neptune in the 12th house in Pisces, but then he has Chiron, Venus, and Mercury all in Aries. So that's a self-starter. Um, it's in a water house, though. It's in a water house. So, um, yeah, Venus is exalted in Pisces, but it is in Aries. So that will give him a lot of ambition, or he may get a lot of things done behind the scenes. So anyway, it gives him fire, gives him fire. Uranus, he has right on the ascendant. Practically, Uranus is 3 degrees Taurus. This little boy, royal little boy, was born with everything in Taurus, with just this huge, just trines, in the same element, all Earth, all, his midheaven is Capricorn, cardinal Earth, and everything else is fixed Earth, and then, of course, Jupiter's at home in Sagittarius, and then Aries is not Earth, of course, but he has a fire, and yeah, so I was talking about his first house, I believe. I can't get off on tangents. Let me see. Yeah, so, I was looking at his aspects. Yeah, his beautiful trines, beautiful earth trines, would make him very practical, great at business. Um, Taurus frequently are kind of short and stocky or muscular in build, so we'll see. Especially a Taurus ascendant, so he's Sun in Taurus, Taurus ascendant, and Moon on the cusp. It's actually in Gemini, Moon in Gemini, so that will give him skills in communication and sociability. Yeah, so I'm just going to break down his elements in fire. All his fire, though, is in the 12th house. Oh, I was looking up his Uranus. Is 3 degrees Taurus, which Uranus just went into Taurus. So he will be making changes, a lot of changes through his personality, or because Uranus is sudden, unusual, unexpected changes. So, they may either happen to him or through him. You never know how Uranus is going to present, or he may just have an unusual sort of quirky personality. It's close enough to his ascendant. It's 3 degrees. So, but yeah, it's, I was talking about it's his 12th house. It's in the 12th house. So in Aries, he has Mercury, the planet of communication, Venus, planet of attraction, what you like, and Chiron, your inner wounding, the wounded healer. So a part of him may need some privacy, although it's in Aries, So he could be a self-starter. He would be great probably at music, communication, writing, anything that inventiveness, but it would have to be probably his creation, his creativity. He may be very expressive creatively. Venus rules Taurus, so he may be very beautiful, very good looking. Taurus it's ruled by Venus, so all the Venusian things, and of course Taurus, you think of money too. It's the ruler of the second house, that's assets. So I'm going to break down his elements. It's fire was Mercury, Venus, and Chiron, all in Aries in the 12th house. So the water kind of puts out the fire, but he could still be a pioneering, creative. He may do a lot of humanitarian work. The 12th house is the house of service. So that's quite possible as well. We'll see. Air, he's dominant in Earth, but the air, he has the moon. So he is Gemini moon, 0 degrees, royalty. And Mars. So Mars is 23 degrees, moon is 0 degrees. So they're not really close together, but yes, so communication and being social, he could be very skilled at that. He could be a diplomat, and use his social charm. Water, he has the North Node, born to be a prince. 4th house, born to be royalty, and Neptune in Pisces. So that would maybe give him some enlightenment, maybe he's one of the new lights coming in to, it would give him enormous sensitivity and, of course, a sense of service. It's in the 12th house. It's also the ruler of Pisces. So, yeah, that's dynamic. But his Earth, I wanted to get to his Earth. He has loaded midheaven. The midheaven itself is an angle, and so that's Capricorn. So Capricorn is the boss, the authority. So he was born to be the authority. He has Saturn, Pluto, and the midheaven all up there. So he will be very powerful. Yeah, he also has Pluto trining Neptune. That's a very harmonious aspect. Pluto and Saturn are both trining Neptune. So through his royal reign, in whatever position, he will bring, I believe, compassion and sensitivity through his authority, because it's sextiling Neptune, and Neptune 60 degrees is the easy flowing harmonious aspect. So they're working together. So that's a good thing. Neptune is also sextiling his sun, 60 degrees apart. So that's a good thing too, to work together. Yeah, and he's got some beautiful trines from Jupiter to all his Aries stuff, the fire signs. Jupiter in Sagittarius. That's the ruler of Sag. So he'll be doing a lot of traveling, a lot of maybe joint work with just excuse me, maybe humanitarian, Sagittarian endeavors. So that is trining his Mercury and Uranus in Aries. In Aries, so there'll be a lot of communication about international affairs with him, and he'll probably do a lot of traveling, maybe speak several languages, be very, very learned and wise. And it's in the house of joint assets. So of course he was born to the monarchy, so that would be good luck, being born to wealth. Um, but it would definitely give it a wisdom and international flavor. So his other Earth is Sun, Uranus, and the Ascendant. So the two major angles he was born on, his Capricorn, the MC I was just talking about, and his Ascendant. So double Taurus, that's really cool. Double Taurus, Gemini moon. Yeah, and so that's his dominant element. So he will be very earthy, practical, yet have great sensitivity and intuition because of Neptune and its trining. So he may be like a visionary and able to somehow implement that through his communication, maybe. So anyway, Jupiter is squaring Neptune, Jupiter in Sagittarius in the 8th house of Scorpio. That's assets, and squaring Neptune in the 12th house. So that Neptune is also the ruler. Neptune and Jupiter are both the rulers of Pisces. So he will definitely be doing some traveling. And a challenging aspect, it just helps you to evolve and get things done. Without that, we'd all be slugs. His other challenging aspect, one of them, is from Neptune and Pisces to squaring Mars and Gemini. Yeah, so he has a very beautiful chart, and I just, yeah, congratulations. I'm thrilled for the new the new Royal Prince, and I hope you enjoyed this. If you do, please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.